Hi all, we are from Sahara team and today we will speak about Sahara testing. I will start explaining why we decided to create a proper framework, move it to a separate project and transfer all the testing to it. A few years ago we used functional test as well as many projects now. But as a result the analysis of this development of this test, our team decided to establish the new framework for more convenient and scalability testing. So, what is Sahara tests? It's an independent framework that enables users to run functional integration tests for Sahara. They include the Sahara-scenario framework and Sahara Tempest plugin. Using this plugin, you can run scripts for Sahara clusters and Sahara plugins. This framework is developed by Sahara team and in a public access on GitHub. Information for developers you can find on the link on the slide. So you must be curious why the new same Sahara-scenario framework is better than the old integration tests. Firstly, you can use YAML format for describing scenarios. This enables engineers who are new to Sahara in any way to run their test against it and without any problems. Secondly, default templates have been used since Liberty and will be used in all subsequent stable Sahara releases. Due to this, you only need to specify only plugin name and its version to run these tests. There are a pip package. This enables you to use this framework compare with the old integration tests, since required only one command. Besides, it's easy to use, compare with the old integration tests. And Sahara-scenario framework is a main tool for testing Sahara in Mirantis, at Red Hat, and in the open source community. To use this framework, you have to install it. If you want to run tests on different OpenStack hosts, you need to export environment variables and start test commands such as vanilla plugin version 2.7.1. Let's move to more practical part and take a look at the config. For example, fake plugin version 0.1. What can you understand from this line of YAML code? You specify name or ID of the image. You specify that cluster has one all-in-one Node group template with small flavor. This Node group will have following process: name node, data node, job tracker, and task tracker. The cluster template have one Node group named fake01. To perform the EDP job, you need to specify job flow. In this section, specified job type, data sources for input and output, and file system when they will be stored. Sahara-scenario framework is widely used on Sahara-sci for all stable Sahara branches. For starting validation of plugin in stable release, you need to specify the R or release flag. If you want to run validation for master branch, this flag is a necessary option for you. Okay, next part is Tempest.
So the other half of the content of the Sahara test repository is made by Tempest tests, which are still high-level tests mostly. And it's true that you can have scenario tests also in Tempest, but as you have seen, the configuration for the scenario test, they require quite a complex configuration and they are real end-to-end tests. The focus for the Tempest test that we have is more on specific functionalities, API. We are extending also on to some more scenario type, but it's a bit different. Until Mitaka, we had a fragmented scenario. We had the Tempest API test, which were in the Tempest repository, like for many other projects. We had Tempest tests for the command line interface for the previously Sahara command, now OpenStack data processing, etc. command, which were in the Python Sahara client repository. And we had Tempest-like tests for clients, the Python clients, in the Sahara repository. So kind of complicated. The last point is there is a star there because the tests for clients are not real Tempest tests. if you know, Tempest test uses their own clients to ensure more isolation from the Python client and to do more deep testing. While of course we are in this case we are testing the clients themselves. So we are using part of Tempest, the library, but they are not completely Tempest tests. So you can see already that within this scenario we had some problems. We had duplicated code, especially in the base classes, in the definition of templates used to test with different plugins on one side. On the other side, of course, having tests in the repository with branches meant that we had to backport changes to test in all supported branch. And this is, for example, the last point is one of the reasons why Tempest moved to a branchless repository, and so we went for the same solution. So we already had Sahara test, we planned that for scenario test, and moving the Tempest test there was the best solution. Also because if you are following the development on the QE project upstream, Tempest is keeping the library part for everyone to use, but the tests in Tempest are being focused on the core components of OpenStack, and all the other non-core projects like Sahara, the tests for them are being moved away. So it was kind of forced, in a good sense, decision. And what we have now, finally, in the Sahara test repository, we have a unified Tempest plugin, so you can run your tests like any other Tempest test, just integrated, just install it together. And we have all the three categories you have seen in the previous slide: the API test, the CLI test, and the client test. Again, client tests are kind of not proper Tempest tests, but still they are good there. And that's definitely a big improvement. We still have, we got some good results. So as I said, the unified Tempest plugin, we can reuse more code, especially the definition of the templates for all the type of tests. We still have some challenges. Of course, continue to clean up and remove the code duplication. Try to better define what is the and follow the Tempest mission as much as possible. And we have two big issues here. First, define it for the tests which are not really Tempest tests, the client test. And if we want to really be good in the sense of the Tempest mission, we need to be able to run our tests on every possible cloud. We have still some reliance on the fake plugin for tests, but we're working to remove it. And of course, we need to, we still depend on some private Tempest API, but that's something we cannot really fix immediately because the process of stabilization on the Tempest side is ongoing, so we need to engage, and we hope to do it during the summit and in the future, to identify which public APIs are still needed on the Tempest side for real scenario tests. And that's it. You have seen before, we are part of the Sahara team, so the contacts are the same. The mailing list, OpenStack Dev with the tag Sahara, the IRC channel, we are all hanging around there, or you can contact us directly to our emails.